Through these simple examples, it's clear that we can no longer separate the world out there from what's happening in our classrooms, in our offices, and at our family dinner table. Our oneness also means that we can no longer separate spirituality from our everyday lives. It's common during the media session and interviews before a public seminar for the interview to ask me if I'm going to talk about the science stuff or the spiritual stuff. My answer to the question is generally not what the interviewer is hoping for. Where do you draw the line between spirituality and our everyday lives? I reply. It's an important question because the artificial separation between science and spirit is precisely what keeps us stuck in the thinking that prevents us from adapting to today's crises. What could be more spiritual, I ask, than applying the deepest truths revealed by the best science of our time as the real-world solutions in our everyday lives? The crisis of change itself. When big changes happen in our lives, we tend to view them initially as crises. The previous mention of climate change is a perfect example. When the climate of the world began to shift, it caught many people off guard. Although the teachings of native traditions around the world have warned us for centuries to expect these changes, and the geologic history of the Earth clearly shows us that we're on course for a cyclic shift in climate, average people going about their everyday lives simply weren't expecting it. And it's no surprise they weren't. In the memories of the people living today, the weather patterns of the last century or so had become familiar, regular, and predictable. The temperatures and growing seasons for our farms and gardens had become as sure as night and day. Then, suddenly, they all changed. My wife and I experienced this change personally in the high deserts of northern New Mexico. The area is known for its low humidity and abundance of sunshine.